Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about hardening off your seedlings. This is actually the first time that I'm really being specific about how I'm doing this. Having previously grown the past few years, and these birds are very noisy today, it's a good problem to have. Having previously grown only in Southern California, I started all of my seeds outside and just willy-nilly planted them out with nary a care in the world as to introducing sun exposure, but now being in zone 6A, I'm being very deliberate about how I'm doing that. I started these babies from seed back in February, March, and I do not want to kill them in transplant shock. So I'm going to share below my exact hardening off schedule that I'm following, that I've sort of been piecing together based on my circumstance, because I'm going to be out of town leading up to our last frost date. So I want to get them into a place where as soon as we get home the next day, I can just pop them right out in the garden. So we're going to take a little look at what we have hardening off and see how they're doing. Also, please enjoy this waterfall. It's like our own personal sound machine, and it just makes me so happy. Come on, let's go. So as you can see, it's a very glamorous, official setup. We're using our patio chairs, and I have some, I believe this is 70% shade cloth that I'm doing for partial shade. So we have all these little babies under here. So I'm doing this for partial shade. And again, I'm gonna share below the timing that I'm using for my hardening off schedule. But this is for partial shade. And then this actually is what I'm using for full shade. This used to be up here on top of our pergola, but in a big storm last fall, the bungee cords blew off, so we haven't actually attached it. But I'm gonna flip these up and we can see what we have going on. So some of my tomatoes have a little bit of yellowing on the leaves. I'm not too concerned because I'm going to, once I pot that or plant them in the ground, I'm gonna strip probably mostly all of the bottom leaves and bury them very, very deep. So I just gave them all a big water this morning. Some still have a bit of water in the bottom. But yeah, we have a lot of different varieties of tomatoes. We have some peppers. We have some yarrow, which I adore. And we have some annual flowers back here. Let's pop over onto the other side. Check on the little fishies. Yeah, so on this side, let's see, flip this up. You can even see these need to go out badly, actually underneath here. Look at that. The roots are just like, transplant us. This tray is actually pretty crazy. Look at that. I'll also link to the seed trays that I'm using. This is the first season that I've been using them, but so far so good. They're Windstrip seed trays from Neversink Farm Tools, and I really enjoy them. So we have some Greek basil, some Genovese basil, which I just pinched off the other day, and you can see some stuff is already starting to flower. I probably should rip this off, but I'm not going to. We have a marigold that's also about to flower, some sunflowers. So this is the smallest tray. We have some more basil over here, which I actually forgot that I planted and probably should have transplanted or potted up. Some herbs, but yeah, lots of tomatoes, lots of annual flowers, and some peppers. And this again is our little setup, very official. So they've already gotten their partial shade for the day. So I'm just gonna cover them back up. And I'm also leaving them outside at night already because, I'm also leaving them outside at night already because I did one full day of schlepping them inside and down cellar. And it was like 6 trips, and I just don't have time for that. So I checked the weather. It's not going to be below 50 degrees at night, God willing. So I made an executive decision, and I'm just leaving them outside. So again, I'm putting the schedule that I'm following below, and that's all for today.